Hello and welcome back to the scenic route. We're going to continue today from where we left off. We were running an infrastructure route between Steel Pipes facility and the Canyon gas holder. And we got to this point here where the semi-trailers hit the sand and just couldn't handle it. So what we're going to do is we're going to pave this road here, and we'll see if that's enough to get us to the destination. I have a feeling we may need to pave this part as well, which is quite a fair distance. But you know, let's just see. What I've done in the meantime, actually, I've created what I call the Great Sojourn Scenic Road, and I have paved this coastal road all the way around. It's the longest road I've ever paved, and it's actually pretty cool. It goes all the way up through here, up to here. So we could possibly, I was going to say maybe we could use that as the path to the gas holder, but not really. I mean, if we could build some bridges across, but let's just go the direct route first, and let's get started. I also activated the sand quarry that's right here. It needed 6 of the recall tokens, so I had to purchase 6 from the shop, but that allowed us to this radius around here for sand. I activated this one here for the Great Sojourn Coastal Road, which fortuitously covers all this area as well. But it's just this little bit here that wasn't covered, and I didn't really want to go back and forth. So spent a bit of money, bought the tokens, and yeah, here we go. So that was a pretty smooth drop, I'll say so myself. Had a lot of practice in the last day making roads, as you can see by the Great Sojourn Coastal Road, and that's very much an uneven, twisty sort of road. So this straight line is a lot easier, let me tell you. But before we continue, I'm not gonna flatten, but there's some rocks in the way. I just want to clear the path. This is easier to do that with the bulldozer before there's any sand on the ground. And this is the new bulldozer that we got access to from the previous mission. Of course, I purchased the newer version. I'm not using the rusty one that we get. Let's get rid of these rocks. I'm in trouble. Yeah, that shouldn't be any trouble at all. It's just the angles because of this breach line on the left here. What I want to do is sort of push them to the side. It's much easier to do this now before we start laying sand, because once there's sand in there, this is what I had to deal with in the Great Sojourn Coastal Road. Just trying to, you have to sort of manually adjust the blade so it's low enough to touch the rocks but not low enough to touch the sand. And if the ground is undulating in any way, it's very difficult not to damage the stuff that you've already laid down. Okay, so that's pretty much done. These little ones probably not going to be too much of an issue. some more up ahead, so we'll just clear that path. Okay, that was a bit easier. Let's go on ahead. I wonder if we can just destroy this bush. Okay, so that should be fine. And I can probably just leave this guy parked here, and I can flatten the sand from this side. And I love to spinning around in the spot. Okay, back to the sand. And hopefully this won't take too long. We should have sand coverage the whole way. Also, let me know in the comments if you notice any difference in the image quality. I've just updated the software which I use to play on my Mac. It's supposed to, yeah, it's got a bit of graphical improvements to it, a bit of upscaling happening, so just let me know. I think I didn't clear that rock here. That's fine. We can work around that one. Just try to position myself so I can just go straight without having to turn. Going downhill, tend to go a bit faster and sort of thins out the drop a bit, but should be alright. Yeah, we want to just, as I said before, just try and angle the truck a bit better. Just follow the track here. Okay, almost there. Maybe one more load. Right. That's as far as we need to go. Try and turn around. Come a long way with our vehicles. We're using mainly the tracked ones at the moment. Just move this one away. Now we're going to have some fun here with these rocks. We're going to have to figure out how do we want to handle this turn. potential spot to the left here where there's the railway track gap. There's another gap here, but there's rocks in the way, so what we'll do is first we'll just build this road and then we can figure out how we want to turn it. I don't have a lot of space here to start this process. What I'll do is I'll come from the other side. It's a bit less rocky. So just position myself first before we get the blade down. You know, that's probably good enough. Now we've got a much wider blade in this bulldozer than the other one, so we probably don't need to do so many passes. Steering isn't quite as good as the other one, given it's got tracks, like the fine sort of control, but you know, I'd take the bigger blades over the wheels any day of the week. I find I have to constantly adjust the steering to get the right position. And sometimes it's a bit easier to overshoot, but I'll get the hang of it. I've only had this truck for like a day or so. So what I might do is just go back over the middle of it again, and then actually I just did the sides. I might just do the sides. Pretty wide as it is, isn't it? I'll just go straight down the middle. Like, I'm not building a 4-lane highway or anything, so I just want to get it flat. I think it could be slower than the other one. It seems really slow, like almost asphalt layer level of slowness. But given it's like almost twice as wide, maybe the efficiency overall is better. I wonder if we can sort of fork the road to the left, just over this crest. I think that's probably the play. And then we go over that break in the railway line there. I don't think we need to probably, right here we sort of chuck a left. I don't think we need to go all the way to where we are. Just finish this section, put on the parking brake. So if we go from, so there's the sort of junction here. So if we sort of go like there's some rocks, can we go straight over the rocks maybe, and then across, maybe. All right, let's see on the route map. Where was the infrastructure? So this is the route that we've scheduled, or we've plotted. I think, yeah, if we build a road along here, I mean, we could probably even go over the railway line. So some of these rocks you can't move, so you just have to work around it. Yeah, let me clear. So if we want to do a bit of a smooth sort of turn, like that, and then if we then we can just sort of join up to here. That's pretty solid ground, so we'll try that. Switch over to the Aramatsu bowhead. And we'll just do a fork in the road from around here it was. Just sort of aim it in between these rocks here. And I think because of the the angle, it's kind of gone over the rock, but there's a rock here too, so you know, we'll see what we can do. It's a bit of a steep incline over the railway line there. I wonder how this is gonna go. You know what, we'll do a little bit of a turn and go over, although we've still got the same issue of it's going to be a bit higher than the ground, so it's probably not going to make any difference. Whereas up here, you see there's not so much of a mound, but we've got those holes in the ground where we laid cable, so we're kind of got obstacles everywhere. Let's just go along with this original plan. Okay, I might have to dump a bit of extra sand to get over the lump. That may work. I might put a bit of extra sand again. I'm gonna go this way. Alright. Now the ground here is pretty solid, so let's just stop there. Switch back to the dozer. And let's flatten this out. And we'll see what it looks like over the railway line. Hopefully we'll just cover all those rocks that were in the way. I think that will work. Let's go over it this way. Hopefully we don't go down too low to uncover those rocks that we put sand over. It looks like we're okay. And what I'll do, I'm just going to go all the way to the end of this road because we don't really need that fork off into the sinkhole. Okay, I'm pretty okay with that as it is. Okay, I'm just going to park here. And we'll switch to dump truck because I don't like that position. Just want to get this one out of the way altogether. This is actually a bit of a road, I guess, next to us. Do we want to extend our road all the way up? So we are here. Do we want to extend it to join here? I think it probably doesn't matter. Like if we just go here, we just chuck it right. We'll try that. We'll try that. See how we go. Okay, we'll go to the asphalt. Mr. Asphalt, it's your time to go. Okay, well maybe we can do this in one pass. That would be nice. Slow and steady. There's a few rocks up ahead, but I think we're okay. As long as there's enough space for the semi-trailer, that's all we need. And that thing is long, it's not necessarily wide, so you know the width of this road should be plenty. What have I got stuff on? It seems to be okay. And we're just going to follow the curve around, we're not going to bother going straight ahead. I might have to go over the curve a few times just because of the way the steering is on this vehicle. When you turn, because it steers with the back wheels, or it steers at the back of the vehicle, you can kind of miss the inside of the turn. Okay, that wasn't too bad. Just turn this around. That's better. I'll just go back to that turn and we'll see if we need a bit of a touching up. I think the rest of it's fine. It's actually looking okay. I think I'm going to leave it. You know what? Now I'll just get the inside corner. We got to about here, and that should be good enough. And we'll just along the side here. We can't even get up over this little hump. There we go. There we go. Now we get the roller, which is, I think that's the one. Yep. Then we'll have to modify the routes and send these guys on their way again. Now, the turning circle on this is pretty poor, so what I will do is just set it up. And I think this one will have to do 2 passes because the roller is not as wide. Yeah, it's about halfway of the asphalt layer. So we'll go up, we'll come back. And this will be a fairly quick road to make. Probably about half an hour real time. Still getting those visual glitches. Don't know what that's all about. Maybe I'll send a bug report into the developer, see if maybe we can get it resolved. That would be nice. I'm almost certain this will not be the last road that we need to build for this convoy, but we'll see. Driving around this morning, and I like seeing these vehicles in real life. I saw one of those sand scrapers. It was amazing. It looked exactly like it does in the game. It was just making up big piles of sand. It's a new housing development. It's pretty cool. I was just driving by, so I couldn't stop and watch, but it would have been pretty cool to just stop and watch it in action. Okay, let's edit this route. Just try and get it in the middle of the road. That's fine. Now this one, move to here. Oh, what's going on? Can we just delete this point? Move this one, like here. I'm gonna get rid of that, the blue electricity. How do I do that? Okay. Gotta move some points. Delete this point. Move this one. Move this one. Delete this one. And then move that one. And then that should get us back on track. So that's the mule, first one. But we don't really care about that one. We care about the wayfarer, which will be this one. Okay, so the problem is it spawned it right at the turn. So what we want to do is just sort of shuffle these points around a bit. Maybe this one. There we go. We want to spawn back here. No, yeah, we'll see if we can get onto the road okay. We may need to tarmac this section here, but let's just spectate and see. So yeah, like I said, I'm not worried about the mule. Let's watch this guy. Okay, so it makes it around that corner just fine. And getting onto this bit of tarmac is the question mark. Yeah, so it's losing traction just there. So with a bit of a nudge, you can make it, but I don't really want to depend on nudging. So let's cancel. And we'll bring the vehicles back to the start of the route to, yeah, like, so just put a bit of sand, bit of tarmac. Okay, so we want dump truck. What's this vehicle here? Oh, that's the cable layer. All right, let's get the dump truck back. It shouldn't take too long. Especially since we've got a nice new road to travel on. Probably could have waited to fill up till we get over the crest, but it doesn't really matter. So how I'll do this is sort of dump from here. I'm normally doing low gear. That was pretty bad. Top it up. It's not the best sand laying job I've done, but we're going to smooth it all out, so it doesn't really matter. Okay, we're in low gear. Let's just dump some sand all along here, and then what we'll do is we'll flatten it out with a bulldozer and shape it up a bit, and then put some tarmac down and then roll it. Okay, let's get the bulldozer. This one's called a Pioneer. I should start calling it the Pioneer. Looks like it's got some sort of mounting point on the back of it. That's sort of spiky thing. It'd be cool if you could tow other vehicles with it. Okay, let's start flattening sand. I wonder how lumpy this is going to be. I haven't really done something like this before. Might come over from the side angle as well, seeing as that's kind of the way they're going to be traveling. I want to smooth it out that way. So if we push it this way, it'll give a bit of a ramp along here. Which is what we want. We want to make it easier to get onto the road from this angle. And then I think that should be enough from this direction. Then we'll go back to right to left. Alright. Yeah, we'll just go like from here. It's going to be lumpy as hell. So I'm going at it in different directions. My blade didn't get put down. Okay, let's go. Now, if this doesn't allow them to get onto the road, then yeah, I don't know what we'll do. I'll just do one more pass this way. Oops, no, I don't want that. Oh, I almost destroyed the asphalt there. Okay, we're just going to park here. We want Mr. Asphalt all the way back here. Man, I feel like this episode is not very productive. You know, we haven't done any objectives yet. We're just doing all this just for the one objective. So hopefully we can finish it in this episode. And this is all it takes, but I have a feeling it won't be. Let's start laying asphalt. I'm going to move this roller, it's in such a bad spot. Look how small it is compared to the asphalt maker. I saw it, the other day I was driving around and I saw an asphalt paver. It looked exactly like this, but it was green. Actually really huge in real life. Just paying attention to the road building equipment around the neighborhood these days. So yeah, I know how to drive that. I know how to work that machine. Just give me a, PlayStation controller. It's all good. So this step really shows up when it's not flat. It's hard to keep this thing straight. These gaps that don't fill in. Will that one fill in? Hey, that one did. No, it didn't. Shouldn't affect the performance, just the aesthetics. Just a little bit more. In fact, that's probably enough, but I just want to get this little bit at the end here. And we'll roll it. Okay. Hopefully I won't need this guy again. So try and park it a bit out of the way. And we'll switch to roller. Yeah, it looks pretty ugly when you do two. I've never done two separate roads like that to kind of join, but that join was actually alright. Okay. The other bit where it was a bit lumpy, it's yeah, it's got some holes in it. But it should be enough. It should be good enough for what we want. Keep going, keep going. I wonder how long it would take to sand and tarmac an entire map. Not just roads, but just everything, like cut down trees, take out stumps. Like, that's probably impossible, right? Like, no one would ever do it. No, you should build a tarmac over existing tarmac, right? You just put in some sand and just do the usual process. That would be insane. I don't know why you'd want to do that, but I wonder if it's possible. Yeah, this is such an odd shape. I don't know what's the correct path to do all this stuff. We have to keep going round and round. I feel like a robot vacuum cleaner. I have to split it. One little sliver left to go, and then we'll restart this convoy. It's like such an ugly patch. Let's see how we go. Oops. Get this thing out of the way. Go back to the route. And let's oh, no. Plotted that. Hang on. What do I want this one? Track it. Plot route. I plotted it. Why is it? Is that a different one it wants me to do, or what? Okay, it's this one. Alright, let's see where it dispatches the big boy. Okay. We're on the road. Yep, next one looks okay. So what we've got here, we've got a lot of logs. Some slabs, looks like. The one behind, it can't really tell. Doesn't matter. Alright, so let's look ahead to the mule that's gone off-road. That one's going ahead well. These ones are the challenge. Oh, it's not liking it. So that's where we laid the electrical cable. It's gone over that. It's run over that tree, no problems. Not tree, a shrub. Where's the mule? We've lost the mule. The mule's all the way up ahead there. It's getting there. How far back is the next truck is still going? So this looks like some sort of track. So it should be fairly compact underfoot. Oh, it looks maybe a bit soft at that point, but it made it through. Actually, this bit looks a bit soft, doesn't it? Looks very soft. Can you do it? Can you go? Shunt it. There we go. That's a good shunt. Nah, we're getting bogged. We're getting bogged. Where's the mule? Well, the mule's made it. So there's no trouble for the mule. If we jump into here... Don't tell me we're going to have to pave that whole section. I think we might have to. Or at least put sand. In any case, it's not something I want to do at this second, so I might... Let's end it here. Let's end it here. I might continue on later and add the sand and stuff to this bit. Don't know if I'll do it on or off screen. Maybe I'll do it off screen and then we'll just jump back on when I'm ready to restart the convoy. Okay, we're back and off camera. I've paved the entire section, and that should be enough. That should be enough to get the trucks there. What I also realized was I was planning this route here, which is not part of the restart canyon gas holder objective. It's a separate objective. So yeah, that was my fault, my mistake. I don't know how that happened, but it happens. So what we'll do, I've already plotted it out, the correct one, but I haven't run it yet, so let's see how it goes. I'll just get this guy out of the way. Hang on, that's the side mission. We want to do this one, infrastructure route. So this is the canyon gas holder, so I'll open the route. So that's to here, which is kind of on the way, right? So we'd plotted all the way up to here, which is where I just was here. But we only needed to go up to here. But you know, it's all tarmacked anyway, so it's going to be fine. The other thing I realized after I put the tarmac down, I need to get electricity here at some point. And putting the tarmac down means I can't run cable across if I needed to cross the path here. So I'm going to have to either destroy it, part of it, pull it up, and then like relay it, or find alternative ways around. In any case, that's not a problem for right now. So let's have a look. I'm not sure what sort of trucks we are dealing with on this route, because the one we were looking at the other day with the semi-trailers, that was a different objective. Looks like these ones are not semi-trailers. Let's have a look, shall we? Yeah, these ones should be a bit more capable off-road, but it's all pretty much on-road now. Now the trouble is with the other infrastructure route, they share that same road, so there's going to be some traffic problems. So what I'm thinking is maybe let this one run, do some of the side objectives, wait for this route to finish all the runs it needs to do, and then start the next one. Otherwise, it'll just be you're getting traffic issues, and then the routes will stop, and you got to manually restart them, and it's just, you know, I guess it's manageable, but if we've got the other things to do in the meantime anyway, we may as well do it, right? So where the joins are for the different roads, because I didn't do them all in one hit, right? So I would pave one section, and then I think, well, this is close to another paved section, I may as well just run a road there. The joins aren't very good if there's like gaps, but I don't think it affects the performance at all. So here you can see where we had the sand road straight ahead, didn't end up using that, didn't bother paving it either, there's no point. You can see here what I mean, where I joined this road to this road, and there's a bit of a ugly section there, but okay, it's fine, we don't actually use that little bit. So I don't foresee any issues at all getting these trucks to their destinations. Oh, you know, obviously this is the highest level of road we can do. One being no road, and then sand road, and then tarmac. So it's like the first one is made it through. There's no tarmac on that last little bit, but it's solid enough that it should be able to take it. So that one's complete. Had a bit of worries about that last section where the trucks had to like reverse in to get a better angle. It looked like they were having trouble getting up onto back onto the road because there's a bit of a dip right here, but I guess it didn't matter. So this one is operational now. Looks like it needs to do 10 routes. You can see there's $4,400 in total, and it's $440 per truck. So let's let that run. Let's go back to the objectives, the side objectives. So we need to bring a pump to the oil spills, which is, look, we've got the road there. I don't know how we're going to get it down. Probably bring a crane and just drop it down would be the best bet. I suppose you could drive down here. Either way, it's fine. Transport the cargo truck to the sinkhole. Let's do that. What I'll do, I'll just track that objective. Can we? So you can't strap in. You can't strap in the cargo. Well, I guess that makes it a little bit trickier. But make sure all my turns are smooth, so we just head straight out from here, like so, and then follow the tarmac. So these two should be pretty straightforward. I'll need to send a truck to pick up the pump. Let's deliver this first, and then we'll pick up. Probably send the Voron. I think that's in the vicinity. Where am I going? Am I turning right here? Oh, turning left. And then turning right. Pretty sure it's here. Let's just go for it. Yep, that's the exit. And then from here, it's just a straight drive on the tarmac.
Not many folk like cleaning up their own mess, like these oil spills, and even fewer like cleaning up someone else's mess. So you have the right to grumble. But there's something to keep in mind. You're not cleaning up after someone. You're helping Mother Nature. I keep telling this to myself every night. And sometimes I even fall asleep. The magic of self-suggestion.
We're not the one out of here, Kelly. Oh, that was it. What was that? We hit something hard. Okay. So there's a... on that side of that road is... must be the angles are particularly bad or something, but... where are we going? Okay, we're not going down that one. That's the other delivery. We have to head down this sort of spillway, we'll call it. Now we're going up to this big silo on the right hand side. And it's just in here, I believe. Maybe I should build a bridge or something. Like, this section's a bit tricky, a bit dodgy. Especially when the cargo's not strapped. But it seems to be pretty stable, so we're good, we're good. Oh, I hear that bubbling. That's not good. That's not good at all. It looks like it's draining. What's I haven't really looked in here. There's a lot of metal salvage, isn't there? There's a lot. Oh, there's a truck. There's a little toy truck on the roof there. We'll have to go pick that up at some point. Alright, let's forget about salvage for now. Let's track this one. So bring the pump to the oil spills. So there's the pump. That looks like a crane, which we don't need. Let's go to the vehicles tab. Let's find the Voron, which is... oh yeah, it's just here. I was doing some salvage, so I just dropped off into the steel pipes facility. So we're pretty close by. We'll go pick up this cargo and bring it to the destination. Simple as that. And after we do that, I think we can probably call it a day for this episode. I'm not sure how long we've been going because I've actually recorded in like 3 different parts across a couple of days. It's life getting in the way of doing a continuous stream, but that's fine. Am I going this side? Yeah. Yeah, at some point I'll collect all these forklifts. Maybe I'll do a bit of a YouTube short on it. See how many there actually are. And how much money we can make. Now, is this truck going to be big enough for this? I think it should just fit. That's a big pump. We'll load up real quick. Try and get it centered on the bed if we can. Oh, that's not quite there. You know, let's drop it in nicely. Strap it in. Get rid of the anchors and let's get on our way. Let's run over a box while we're at it. So basically the same path as the last mission. Exit out of here onto the tarmac, except we are taking it down that steep incline, so that's the only real question mark here. I'm not sure how safe that would be to drive down. If it looks a bit crazy, we may just bring out a heavy crane. I've got a new heavy crane actually, a tracked one. Maybe I'll take that one out, but we'll see. I bought that crane, but I haven't actually used it yet, so could be a good opportunity, but if we can drive it down, that's going to be the better bet, I think. We'll try and avoid that section where we hit that sort of hard corner before. That was a weird one. Well, if I just cut off a delivery truck. Well, let's try and stay on the road. So I can see the destination ahead in the blue area up there. Yeah, we avoided that little hard bump. We didn't want to get stuck behind traffic, they go pretty slow. Okay, well, we're going to turn off here. And let's have a look what we're dealing with. I think that should be okay. I might chuck it in low here, just to kind of take it slow. I wonder if the surface gets a bit slick because of this oil. I wonder if the game sort of can deal with that. It seems a bit, I don't know, it seems normal enough to me. I'm just trying to stay away from the edge here because I don't really want to tip over and go rolling down that crevice. Okay, we made it. There's a bit of salvage here as well. Not much, but if we're doing a cleanup, maybe we'll just take some of it with us. Looks like those levels are going down. Yeah, definitely.
Gosh, just take this sight in. Now that's inspiring. Of course, the damage will take time to heal, but it's not going to get any worse now, and all the local critters have you to thank for saving them. Thanks from me too. I'm not a critter, but still.
Right, we did it. Got a few objectives, well, one left I think, and that route is already plotted. Like I said, we're just trying to avoid traffic, so we've got a few more to go on this one. In the meantime, I might just pick up some salvage and just tidy up the place a bit, do that sort of off camera, and then we'll come back for the next episode. We'll finish up that last objective and then see what's next. Thanks very much for your company, and I'll see you next time on the Scenic Route.